North now to Liverpool, one of Britain's great seaports. Many an American car strange to Lancashire has been hauled ashore at Liverpool docks, but none as strange as these. Over here for a unique sporting event, the first ever Anglo American rally for vintage cars, sponsored by the British Travel Association. Ten in all, they're the pride of the Veteran Car Club of America, some of them 25 years older than the Cunard liner that brought them 3,000 miles across the Atlantic. Machines like this 1906 Stanley steamer put the clock back to the days when water was used for fuel, 1 mile to the gallon. Owned and driven by Paul J. Tusek of Power Point, Ohio, it has a top speed of 70 miles an hour. After a clean-up on the quayside, the 10 cars of the American team make their own way to Edinburgh for the start of the rally. Like the British team taking part, 5 of the American cars are from the Edwardian period, and 5 are vintage cars built between 1914 and 1928. They have 6 days to reach the start and to become acquainted with British roads. At Edinburgh, itself steeped in history, a tradition-loving people crowd the Castle Esplanade to watch the start. And what a proud sight they make, these veterans of the road, with their polished brass and glistening paintwork. The 2 teams were selected by the Vintage Sports Car Club of Great Britain and the Veteran Car Club of America. In recent years, an ever-growing number of enthusiasts on either side of the Atlantic have established the value of the vintage car. Today, the glances on the streets are of envy and admiration. "800 miles and 8 days of driving lie ahead along a route from Edinburgh to Goodwood, Sussex. A route specially chosen to take the 20 competitors and their passengers through some of England's loveliest countryside and most interesting places. All along the route, people watch with interest, for this is a rally such as the British roads have never known. Warwick Castle, with its own vintage of 1,000 years, makes a fitting stop for those whose choice of transport is sufficient proof that they love the past. Men like A.C. Baker of Battle Creek, Michigan, driver of the Kissel Speedster. Here in these very grounds, 1,040 years ago, walked the subject, willing or otherwise, of Ethelfreda, daughter of Alfred the Great. Today, the castle is one of the few English baronial castles that still serves as a residence. Six days of riding and the cars are still together, if not on points. Following the Pierce Arrow of American Captain Austin Clark is Britain's oldest entry, a 47-years-old Wolseley Siddeley. The Stanley steamer, one of the fastest cars of its day, makes an interesting comparison with this 1928 Bentley, whose owner, Terence Breen, still races it at Silverstone. "8 miles away from Warwick, 6 minutes running time that is for the racing Stutz, is Stratford-upon-Avon. It's only 6 minutes too for the 1921 Mercer Raceabout. 8 fast miles to glorious Stratford, birthplace of William Shakespeare. Just before Stratford, the village of Shottery and the modest cottage of Anne Hathaway, Shakespeare's wife. In the town itself, the house in which Shakespeare was born is today a mecca for thousands of American tourists every year. Now a museum, the house contains many valuable relics, manuscripts, and rare books. Just before the end of the rally, the two teams line up for a special event, the speed climb of famous Prescott Hill near Cheltenham. With a gradient of 1 in 20 and unusually difficult corners, the hill is an exacting test for both man and machine. Like all the cars, the 4-speed Biddle is electrically timed to 1/100th of a second. The 1918 Biddle, owned by Edward Hanson of Madison, Wisconsin, starts the climb in grand style, followed just as easily by the 8 years older British car, the Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost. The fastest modern racing cars climb Prescott Hill in under 45 seconds, but these vintage cars are allowed a team aggregate of 10 minutes, points being deducted for every second taken above the aggregate. On the road once more, the rally reaches the charming market town of Marlborough. In one of the High Street's 2 old churches, Cardinal Wolsey was ordained in 1498. For Marlborough is as ancient as it is attractive. Skirted by the forest of Savernake, famous for its immense birch trees, the town houses one of Britain's leading public schools. Finally, Goodwood, where vintage enthusiasts from all over the country have come to welcome the rally teams, and later to take part in a great concours d'élégance. By permission of the Duke of Richmond and Gordon, the famous Goodwood Circuit, once a fighter airfield, provides the last laps of the vintage rally. The points awarded in the 3 circuit events, tests of speed and stamina, together with the final points of the concours d'élégance, complete the rally totals. Already leading on points, the British team increased their lead on one of the fastest circuits in the country. Still affectionately known as Old Cocks, the vintage cars of both teams really get a chance to show their paces at the end of a cross-country rally, which will go down in motoring history. The silver trophy awarded to the British team by the Royal Automobile Club is only one of 15 prizes of the vintage rally. A tour of Britain any visiting motorist would find exciting. The first ever Anglo American rally for vintage cars adds yet another link between Britain and the United States.